Today, we're going to go over Marketplace in Canopy. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your Canopy account. You're going to sign in with your credentials. So once you've input your credentials, you're going to go in. I'm going to go through Google. Once you are in Canopy, you're going to go to your organization. I'm going to be building this in our example organization. Marketplace is a great resource to sell different fan experiences. Some of our customers even will sell retail and ship it to their fan houses. Today with our example, I'm going to show you guys how to create a Jumbotron message. So there's different use cases with Marketplace. If you have a specific one, I highly recommend reaching out to us and we can definitely give you a more personalized training. But one of the most common is sideline experiences, sending a Jumbotron message. Some customers sell parking, other customers sell merchandise that can be shipped to houses. So either way, you can do all of this in Marketplace. We've got a way where you can have customers redeem a Marketplace item based off of their geographical location or their geolocation. So if they are at the property, they are exposed to this Marketplace item. So maybe it's exclusive to people who are at the game. So anybody that's at home is not eligible to redeem it. We do have a way to do that. We call it geofencing. There's also ways to do it for season ticket holders specifically as well. So if you have different promotions you want to do for your season ticket holders that you don't want the general public to have the ability to purchase, you can also limit it that way, and also by tiers. So the first step with creating any Marketplace item is creating the event. So in Canopy, you're going to go to your events tab. In events, you're going to select events. At one point, we were able to do a lot of cool different things. Back when VenueNext first came out, they were putting in the game information. Now, obviously, with a lot of you are using YinzCam and Ticketmaster and FanReach and SeatGeek. They all help coordinate and control that, where now we basically kind of help facilitate it. So when you're creating an event, you do have a way to bulk import and upload your events. So if you do have a spreadsheet, maybe you've got over 100 events, you don't have to manually go in and create each one. You can upload it. You're just going to follow the format of the CSV, which we list here. If you need help before you upload it, shoot an email to the help desk and we'll happily look it over and help you get that uploaded. But today I'm going to create a manual event. So I'm going to create an event. The only information that you're filling out is going to be your required information. The required information is going to be in this little orange text box. So kind of going backwards to when I was explaining that VenueNext used to do a lot of different things before YinzCam and FanReach and SeatGeek and Ticketmaster all got involved. We used to put in event details. We used to give you the ticketing information, the home team information. That was something that we helped input for each event. At this point, none of this needs to be filled out. We are going through and clearing out a lot of the clutter in the next couple of weeks, if not maybe probably a month or two. So you shouldn't see too much of our old, like we call it legacy behavior, since it's all thus been since enhanced. So when you're going in to create an event, you're going to do the name of your event. So let's just say that we are a football stadium and we are going to play an opposing team. So I'm going to actually call this home team versus away team, or I guess opponent, we'll call it. Once you name your event, you're going to choose your venue. If you have multiple venues, it's extremely important that you're building your event in the proper venue. If you only have one venue, it's only going to auto-populate to the one. Your date. This is going to be the day of the event. So let's say that our event is next Saturday on the 28th. The time is going to be the time your event starts. You can put in kickoff time or you can put in your doors. It depends solely on what you want to provide for your customers. So if doors are at 5:30 and your customers at that point, or your fans can come in at then, you can easily say, okay, the event time starts at 5:30. If your kickoff time is at 7 o'clock, you can even say, hey, my event time is at 7 o'clock. It's up to you. A lot of my customers use their kickoff time, but I've also seen it where they use their doors. In this case, let's say that our game is at 1 o'clock. After that, you want to make sure you're in the right time zone. I say this because I'm based in central Kansas. So I'm actually literally in the middle of Kansas. So I am central time zone. But what if I was building this for, say, somebody on the East Coast? I want to make sure my time zone matches where my marketplace item is going to be. So from the drop-down list, I would then find East Coast, or Eastern time, I should say, and choose it. So if you're setting up a promotion and you're on the East Coast and it's just for the West Coast, it's going to give you that 4-hour delay. Or so it'll start way before the event even starts on the West Coast and end probably when it's beginning. So you want to make sure your time zones are accurate if you're building this for someone else or in a different place. So I'm going to go back to Central. Like I said, none of this gets filled out. The next step is adding the attribute. So this is a common step that is missed, and it's completely understandable why. It's completely, well, it's not random. There's a reason behind it, but it is a random step that needs to be done. You need to put in marketplace true in order for it to show on your app and in VenueNext. Without marketplace true, it's not going to show. So if you ever build a experience and you're not seeing it on the website, check your event. If any of you guys have screenshot capabilities and you're going to be going in and building experiences, take a screenshot of this and bookmark it for later. It's also in our marketplace support documentation, but keep in mind that this is an added step. It's commonly missed for obvious reasons because it's located at the bottom of the page, but it's definitely critical to put in, especially if you are putting in a lot of events and all of a sudden you go to look on VenueNext in the middle of your event and your marketplace experience isn't on. Always test your events and your experiences when you can. So I'm adding this in and I'm creating my event. Now that my event's been created, my next step is going to marketplace. So there's 2 important steps when creating your event. The first one is merchants. You are only ever going to have to use merchants once. Merchants is how you get paid. This is how you set up we call it a MID or a token, your merchant account ID. Your merchant account ID is going to direct the funds to you. So if this is left blank, it will default the funds or it will cause declines. The default funds will then go to, say you've got a food service provider and they're using VenueNext, it'll go to their bank account and then you're going to have to work with them to get the funds if it's left out. However, 9 times out of 10, if this is not completed, you'll get a payment error. So that's also why it's important to test end to end. This is already filled out, so I can just bypass this. This is a 1-step thing, one and done. So this is already completed. I'm moving on. My next step is going to be categories. As you can see, there are different categories here. So I'm going to actually use an existing category, but I am going to show you how to add in a category. To add a category, you select new category. The category can be parking, VIP experiences, upgrades, season ticket holder exclusive. The category name is going to be what shows on your website. So I'm going to hit cancel here and show you an example. On example, ironically. So when you're on the example, or I'm on example, an example of this is if I go to experiences, all of these are categories. So this is what you are building for your fans. It's fan facing, and it's extremely important that if you do have any kind of graphic input, or I'm sorry, graphic that you're adding, it's one that you want all of your fans to see. The graphic is necessary for you to proceed. So I can't create a category with the intent of adding my graphic later. If I try, so I'll say experiences, I'm going to get an error. The graphic image size should be 492 by 750. I will also send the image sizing asset form to you guys so you can see what our expectations are for our image and what we suggest to have the best image quality for your fans while they're on the website. So like I said, I'm going to use an existing category. If you plan to use an existing category as well, you can bypass this page. This is if you are doing a brand new category, or if this is your first time using Marketplace, this is a necessary step. Once you fill this out and add your image and hit create, that is all you have to do. There are no further steps. So I'm going to close out of here. The next step that you take when you're creating a Marketplace experience is going into your global items. Your global items are going to house all of your existing items. So all of these are existing items that are currently on our experiences page in the example website. Notice you can do seat upgrades, VIP experiences, and much more. If you are no longer offering something, so say that I am no longer doing my 5K race registration, I can archive the item. So I'm gonna hit the back button and go to edit. I can archive the item here. When I archive it and save it, I'm not gonna do that because I believe it's live. I'm gonna go back to global items. It's gonna show up in my archived global item list. There is not a way to delete a Marketplace item. You can archive an item, but you cannot delete it. When you archive an item, it will go into this archive. If at any point you want to bring it back out of the archive, maybe a year later, you say, you know what? I want to bring the 4D exhibit film item back out. I can turn my archive off. I can hit update. And now when I go back to my global items and I go in, I'm going to go back into my normal global item section, my 4D event will show. Let me pull it up. 4D exhibit film. And if I wanted to, I could go in and add it to an existing event, or I can re-archive it if I accidentally did it just by going back into edit. I'm going to hit my back button again. To add in a brand new global item, the first step is going to be select create global item. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. Like I said, today we're going to be doing a Jumbotron message. So the first thing you're going to do is venue experience. Do any of my current participants have any promotions where maybe they're doing a partnership with a restaurant and you're giving out a coupon? Maybe every time the team wins, they get free wings or a discount on pizza. Any kind of external sponsorships outside of the arenas or stadiums? Okay. If at any point you guys had a promotion like that, so maybe every time your team won, somebody got free wings or a free pizza or 25 or 50% off of an item, you could do the external coupon. The external coupon, then your fan would basically redeem it, go to the restaurant and show the restaurant that they've redeemed it, and activate the countdown timer. The countdown timer with this would be a way that A, the restaurant knows that this is a live, valid redemption, and B, that the redemption is not being used twice. Obviously, if the countdown timer is out, then it's already been used. And that's the intent behind it. You can also hit redeem in front of the cashier if you don't want to use the countdown timer. And then once it's redeemed, there's not a way to hit that redeem button again. Right now we're doing a venue experience because this is a Jumbotron message. Because it's a Jumbotron message, I'm going to do no scan. That countdown timer comes back. So if I wanted to do something like a chicken sandwich redemption, maybe at the property, and I'd have my countdown timer to show I actually redeemed it real time, I could do countdown. But in this case, it's no scam because I'm buying the experience and the team on the back end are going to fulfill it by putting up my message. So there's not a way to scan or check that this is a valid well, there is with the receipt, obviously, and they have proof of the order, but there's not a sense of checks and balances when you're purchasing a message. The name of my experience is going to be Jumbotron Message. The description, this is going to give you the information surrounding the message. At this time, we are working on an enhancement or a series of enhancements that should help with descriptions moving into the future. At this time, we do support the long description. So the long description, going back to my example, is going to live in the item itself. So this is your long description. The short description eventually will show here. However, we're still in the process of working and planning through that enhancement. So in the meantime, your long description is going to be where you fill in the details behind the message that you are sending or doing. I'm going to go back in here. So in my description, I'm going to say, send your message to your the short description. If you want, you could say the same thing. I have a lot of customers who just copy and paste. Email alert recipients. This is if you want an email every time somebody purchases this experience or redeems this experience. I do not recommend putting in an email address if this experience is something that will have a large redemption. And when I say large redemption, the last thing that you want is 5,000 email confirmations for a free chicken sandwich. If it's something like a Jumbotron message, then yes, you definitely want to get that email address, and you can do that by putting in your email. And it's comma separated. So if I wanted it and say somebody else wanted to get the email, maybe it's your operations team, then you can put their email addresses in. But if it's something for a free item and you anticipate high adoption, unless you want to send 5,000 emails to somebody, there is a way to identify how many people redeemed a specific promotion that you guys are doing outside of having all of the email alerts come through. So use that at your discretion. I highly recommend using it if you've got somebody that you don't like. I'm just kidding, don't do that. But this is something that you definitely want if it's a limited item, or if it's something that you need to have sent. So maybe it's upgrading your seats and you need it to be sent to security, and you need it to be sent to ticketing, and various other members who are involved in upgrading seats for users. Or maybe they need a backstage pass. So there's a whole other additional security step that needs to happen. This is going to be a great resource for those people. Metadata. So this is going to be where I can set the terms, or I guess not set the terms, ask the information from my customers. So in this case, I could ask for the customer name, and I can require the customer puts their name in. I can also say message. What's your message? You can also, I'm going to hit add metadata again. You can also ask for their age. Maybe this is a promotion for somebody who has to be at least 18 years old. You can add your age description, and you can say greater than 18. If they're not older than 18, you can say you can also add in metadata for seat. So maybe they need to do a seat picker. And this would be, maybe you're doing special birthday gift baskets, and you need to deliver it to them by halftime. You need the customer seat that's going to get it. You could put a seat picker in. You would have to have you'd have to put in a little bit more information for seat picker. Seat picker, the customer would put their seat in. It's not a way to use an existing seat manifest that you have uploaded. So just keep that in mind. They're manually putting this in. I'm going to remove, I'll show you the seat picker too for fun. Categories. The category section I showed you above. These are all of the available categories that have been created. From here, you're going to check the box of the category that your promotion is going to live in. So I'm going to put this in foundation support. Maybe all of my proceeds from Jumbotron messages go to my charity foundation. You can do more than one category. It's up to you. So if you have season ticket promotions that you're running, and maybe you want this, like a certain group of season ticket holders to have access to certain amenities, you can do that as well. So maybe this is season ticket holder gold and season ticket holder platinum, but season ticket holder bronze can't get this experience. It's up to you on how you assign your categories, but all you need to do is check the boxes. Item attributes, merchant, that's that payment ID that we talked about in the beginning. Item availability. Do you want this to be applied to all of your events or just one event? If you do all events, you still need to go in and manually adjust the end time and the sale end date time, as well as the time that they can redeem it. Always check your work. I will show you a way that you can add existing items to existing events if you happen to not have everything built out or you do not select all events. Item purchase limit. Are you going to limit your customers from purchasing this item? So if I'm going to let somebody purchase one Jumbotron message and that's it, then I can put one in. If I don't care, as long as the money's green, then you can leave this blank. You can also limit them to 10 purchases. So you can control how much a customer redeems. So if you're doing upgraded tickets, if you want to control how many upgraded tickets a customer can purchase, you can put the purchase limit here. So maybe you're only allowing 4 tickets per user that's making this purchase. You can put that 4 in. Event. You would choose the event that you want from the dropdown. Because I chose single event, I have to pick an event. However, if I did all events, notice this disappears. So I'm going to go back to single. And I'm going to choose that home team versus opponent event that we built. Inventory. How many Jumbotron messages do I have built? Or how much do you have on hand? Or how much of something are you willing to purchase? So inventory, if I only have 5 messages per game, then I'm going to put an inventory of 5. And after that 5th message is sold, then I'm not going to be able to purchase or redeem anymore. And that's across the board. If you've got 100, after that 100th item has been sold, once again, it is no longer available for sale. So I'm going to put an inventory of 5. Redemption and expiration. They are different than sales start and end times. So if your Jumbotron message is purchased for the game on the 28th, but you need at least 48 hours notice in order for the Jumbotron message to be put up on the 28th, then you want to have your redemption start either the day that the item is purchased, or if you want, you could do a week, basically prior to that 48-hour window. So if I want my redemption to start, let's say I want my redemption to start today. Today is the 20th and it's 1:27. I'm going to do 1:00 p.m. I can put it in just like this. However, if I want this to expire 48 hours before my event, you obviously don't want a fan to come and try to redeem this the day of the event if you need to give yourself 48 hours. So your expiration to redeem it is going to be 2 days in advance. So when you put in this date, I'm just going to cheat and copy and paste. You want this to be the 26th. If it doesn't matter the expiration date, so maybe it just expires by the end of the game, you could even say, okay, this expires 8/28 at 11:59 p.m. The time period the item is still visible, this is going to basically be a way that you can show the customer or the fan that the item is still part of their orders and still redeemable. So even though it's expired at 8/26, it just will show on their wallet or in their purchase history as a marketplace item that once existed. So you can leave it. It'll default to 48 hours. After that 48th hour, it'll still be in their order history, but it's not going to show something that's up and coming. Refundable. If the item's refundable, you can toggle this on. If it's non-refundable, then you can toggle this off. You can always still override a refundable. I understand certain circumstances come up where even though something's non-refundable, you can't really control the fact that, there's a pandemic happening and the game got canceled. Obviously, that would dictate, something that could be refundable. It's at your discretion. You do have a way to override the refund, but you can also set the terms too while you're building it out. Same thing with transferable. We are working on an enhancement to better the transferring process in Marketplace. But if you want somebody to be able to transfer their experience to somebody else, you have that ability. If you don't, you can just toggle it off. Sales attributes. This is going to be where you set the tone or set the rules for your customers. So sales attributes are going to be when your experience goes on sale and who it's for. So the group. If you're going to sell this for the general public, you want to select all. If you're just doing it for season ticket holders, you must be able to have your season ticket holders be part of our affiliation process. And I guess the best way to describe this is we integrate with Ticketmaster and SeatGeek. So if you say you've got, and I've got a couple NCAA people on here. If you've got Paciolan, we don't integrate the season ticket information. So there's not a way for us to identify that they're a season ticket holder. But if you've got, say, Ticketmaster, and I was part of the season ticket holder group, I would be able to redeem something versus somebody who's not part of a season ticket holder group. So it's just a way that you can set the experience for certain individuals, but you need to be able to integrate with us. If you've got further questions about season ticket holder and honestly tiered experiences, you can also reach out to us and we can give you further information, but this is exclusively for Ticketmaster and SeatGeek and tickets.com as well to use, because we do have an integration where we can actually identify who these users are, where with Paciolan, we're not able to because we don't have a way to digest all of the season ticket holder information from them. Preferred credit card. If you are looking to do a preferred credit card experience, all we need are the BIN numbers associated to that preferred credit card. So if you want to do something for Chase cards only or Chase card holders only, we need all of the BINs. Normally Chase can provide that. We do have a lot of people that do similar things with preferred credit cards, but the BIN numbers are important for us to set it up. So even though you're doing preferred credit card here, on the back end, there's information that you need to send us at help@VenueNext.com for us to continue setting it up. And I'll send those articles over as well. Geo exclusive, that's that geofencing. So we put the longitude and latitude in for your property. So if this is exclusive to people that are at the game right then and there, then whoever is there and their location services are turned on, we will be able to incorporate them into this experience. So an example of this would be, I am in Kansas and I am trying to redeem a free hot dog from the Bank of America Stadium in North Carolina. Clearly, I am in Kansas. My longitude and latitude are somewhere in Kansas, and I am nowhere near the stadium. If I were to go into the Bank of America VenueNext website and go to their experiences section, I would not be able to see a free hot dog experience that somebody that is on site at the game could see. So if I had a friend that was there telling me about the free hot dogs, he would be able to get hot dogs for days, but I would not even be able to know that the experience exists because my geographic location is not currently there. Tiered exclusive goes very similar to season ticket holder. Tiering is preferred groups, affiliation groups. So if you have questions on tiering, an example would be you've got customers in a gold tier, a silver tier, and a bronze tier. You want bronze to have the ability to have these items or this kind of discount and price point. And you want silver to have a higher discount. Maybe it's 50% versus 25. And then you've got your gold where they get 75% off. That would be your tiering. This would also need to be done by our team on the back end. So if you have questions about tiered or season ticket holder, reach out to us or your account representative and we can definitely help you out. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and select all. My next step is putting in the price point. How much am I charging for my experience? If I'm charging $100, I'm putting in 100. If I'm charging $1, I'm putting in 1. If this is an item or an experience that has zero value, it's going to show as free on the site. So let me see if I can, or I'm sorry, $0, but it'll also show 0 each and claim now. It will not show as free. Apologies. We did have something that came out that helps remove the words free because we had a lot of customers that said, hey, I would rather see $0. So that's my apologies. But if it has $0 price point, this is what you would see. Sales start and end. This is going to be where you say, okay, this is when I want my item to go on sale, and this is when I want my item to go off sale. So I would recommend, and I just copy and pasted the date from the other one, putting in that sales start and date time when you're testing it for right now. When you are done testing it, yes, I see a hand raised. If you can go ahead and post your question in the chat. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn on your microphone, Kim. So go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, sorry. I don't have a question. I just had a technical problem over here. So that must have set that off. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Okay. So when you are setting up your sales start and your end, the start, always test your item. Make sure it looks how you want it to look. Make sure it works. Run that, if you're going to sell 100 of these, put 101 for the inventory and place one test for yourself. I can't stress enough the importance of testing everything before going live. Even though you've done it right 1,000 times, there's always that 1,001st time where you bang your head on the wall and say, oh man, I should have looked at this. Once you verify that it works as expected, you can then go ahead and put the true sales start and date time. So if you're creating an experience for the future, so if I'm doing my Jumbotron message and I want this to go on sale on September 1st, I can then change my sales start time to 091. But if I'm looking at this on the website right now, I'm never going to be able to see it unless I put the date for today or before. So because today's the 20th, I'm going to go ahead and set this for the 20th. And I'm going to go ahead and put it for 1 p.m. The sale end time. You want to think about your promotion that you're running. So if you want customers to be able to purchase this and redeem this by the cutoff, so say, going back to our example, we're giving them a 48-hour window to put the Jumbotron message in the system. So the cutoff is the 26th, even though the game is the 28th. You don't want to sell this until the 28th because there's that 2-day window where even if the customer wanted to redeem it that day, they wouldn't be able to. So you want that sale end to be on the 26th. So it's in line with when the redemption time ends. You also want to think about how long it could take a customer to redeem it or follow up with you. So if you want to give yourself a buffer, if your cutoff day is the 26th, maybe you end the sale on the 25th, and it gives the customer 24 hours to redeem it and give you any kind of added information that you might need. So use your best discretion on your sale end, but always make sure it's in line with your redemption times. So you don't want the sale to end the day after your event, but you also don't want the sale to end at the same time that the customer is done redeeming it, because there's always going to be their potential for somebody to purchase something at 11:52 and not be able to redeem it by that 11:59 cutoff. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and just do my sale end date time for the 26th at 1 p.m. I'm sorry, the 25th. The metadata. So if you add metadata here, this would be more for tiering. So this is going to be where you identify your gold tier, your silver tier, your bronze tier. Like I said, if you've got questions on tiering, shoot us a message or reach out to your account manager, and we can definitely set up time to talk through property specific tiering. So once you have finalized all of your items, the next step is hitting create. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Once you've hit create, it's going to bring you back to the top of the page, and it's going to show new global item created. So now when I go in, and let me get out of here, I'm going to do a hard refresh. I'm going to go into my experiences, and I'm going to find my foundation category. Now that I've done my foundation category, look what I found. Jumbotron Message, $100, only 5 left. I'll show you where to put the image in shortly, but first, if we tap on it, it'll show my message that we put in, the date that I have it built for. If I had more dates that this was available, you would be able to see all of the dates. And now I can order it. So the next step, because we put in that metadata, remember, I'm putting in my age. Oops. I'm putting in my message. I'm putting in my name. And I'm putting my seat information. So section 100, row 2, seat 1. After that, I get brought to the payment section. From here, I can put my card information in and order. I can also put my email address in to get my receipt. I have the ability to remove it from my cart if I make a mistake. And I can go ahead and refresh. Oops, sorry, that's my fault. And if I need to re-add it to my cart, I can. To update the images, because as you can see, there's images here. To update all of the images, if you go back to Canopy, if you scroll down from where we just were, you can add in all of your image information. So your image detail, you can upload an image here and you can put the description in. So if I wanted to upload an image of the Jumbotron, I would choose my file and I would upload that image there. I unfortunately do not have my Jumbotron image anymore. I am actually working on a new computer. You can also put the description, any kind of description information here. Once you've uploaded it, you hit upload, and then it'll upload and you'll see the image post here and the description. You can also do a image and description for your instructions. What I would recommend doing is your detail image and your instruction image. Your icon image at one point could be different than your detail image, but at this time you can just do your detail and it'll be for both. Let me show you an example of what those images look like too. I'm just going into, that was my fault. I'm just going into global items. I'm hitting edit. This is also where you can edit those images. So if you look, the detail image is right here. There's not a description, which is totally fine. The description really doesn't show. You can see the description on your instruction, but it's just going to be the image that you see when you're looking at that item. So the three kids. If at some point you need to update it, so I'm going into global items. Oh my goodness, we have a huge rain issue. I need to update my Jumbotron promotion because the game's getting postponed. You tap on this and you can actually go into the item details for the event and update the event specific information. So maybe I need this to actually, instead of going on sale on the 20th, because I've already checked my work, now I actually need it to go on sale on the 23rd. So I up to the 23rd. So now I'm going to refresh. What once lived here is now gone because it's not set to go on sale until the 23rd. So now on the 23rd at 1 p.m., my Jumbotron message will go on sale and everyone will buy it. The other thing that you can do is award an item. So maybe I want to award this item to myself. I can go through and I can add this and award it. I would then log into my account and I would see that I was awarded an item. If you want to reference any of your orders that you already have, you'll be able to go to orders and you'll see who's placed an order, what's been completed, what's been redeemed, and if anything's been refunded. You can also reference it. So say Michael wants a copy of his order, or maybe you need to reach out to Michael. Well, you've got his email address. If you go in here, you can reference what Michael purchased. So he got a sports commemorative ticket for an event in September. And this is all of his metadata. I'm going to move this because I feel like that's his real address. The other thing you could do is awarded items. So remember, we awarded me a Jumbotron message. You can see where I've been awarded my Jumbotron message. Now, my UUID is going to be the user information because we did my email address and I'm not currently logged in, nor have I ever logged into this environment. But you'll see who it was awarded to, the user's item ID, and the item. If you want to redeem it on behalf of the user, so maybe after you've put my message in, you hit redeem, then it's redeemed. So when I do log in, it's already showing as redeemed, so I can't redeem it twice. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to use an existing item in a new event. So maybe we want to add this $25 donation to my new event that I just created. Well, we don't see it here. When you want to add an existing item to a new event, you're going to go to show items by event. Hang on a second. There's my event. And if you notice, it says create item. So if you tap create item, here is where you can set the terms for the item sale information. So we're going back to that page where we're putting in the inventory and the redemption and the expiration information. So I'll just say inventory is 5. I'm just auto-populating what I had before. The event's already selected, and now I'm adding my sales information. So I want this available for everybody. I want this to be $7, and I want this to be on sale today as of 30 minutes ago, and I want the sale to end today in, let's do 5 minutes. After that, I can hit create. And now if we go in, so I'm gonna hit back, I'm gonna refresh. If I were to go here and select that $25 donation, when I select my event will show. I probably refreshed this just a little too soon, so just give me one quick second. I'm just refreshing it. So it normally would show, in this example, it's looking like my changes might not have saved. So give me 1 second. So if you find that it's not showing, the next step is looking at how you configured it. So I'm going to go in. Okay, I can see where redemption starts and ends. And I can see my start date and my end date. So one thing that I would look at is my sales start date and time. So even though it's 1:48 Central, let's go ahead and just be safe. I'll put this to 1 p.m. We'll put this at 1. Most of the time when we go in and troubleshoot, it has to do with the date, the sale start date and time. So when I refresh this, when I go in here, now we have it. Well, it would show. So I have to look at that to figure out what I might have done wrong. There's other ways to troubleshoot it if it's not date and time. The next step is availability, and my availability was off. So now when I update it, there's my $7 and there's my event. So there's a couple settings you always want to check. So it's the date, the time, the availability, and the redemption times. So the availability was turned off, which as a result had it not show. Once I turned the availability on, it showed instantly. If you ever wanted to control your promotions that way, you can toggle them off and turn them on. So if maybe it's the end of third quarter, depending if you're winning. So maybe if you have a 10-point lead, you guys do a promotion, you can toggle on an experience as well, as long as the sales information is in line. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the training. I know we're about 10 minutes early. I'm also going to send an email with articles and more information. So thank you guys for attending. And if anyone has questions, feel free to email us at help@VenueNext.com, or you can email your account manager for specific questions. I do see, let's see. I thought I saw a hand, but I think that went away. All right. Have a great rest of your day and a fabulous weekend.